Hello everyone, my name is David. Thank you for joining me in part 2 of my question and answer videos that I do every single Monday. I'm just answering people's questions from last Monday. If you have any, go down below in the comment section. Ask me anything you want, I'll answer them next Monday in my next question and answer video. If you haven't seen part 1, please go back and watch it. I talked about Shane's Law petition, and there is a link to follow that to support anti-narcissistic smear campaigns. I also recommended something called Crazy Fizz and Crazy Water. Good alternative to caffeine, alcohol, stuff like this. Good for you. And I left off at Fit Mama Roberta's question from the Bay Area. She asks, please share the importance of continuing to working on ourselves after processing the abuse. I see pictures of myself during abuse and I'm not happy. And you went on to saying how great you're doing and feeling now, and it's so fantastic. I'm serious. I'm so glad that you stay with us for a little while. Your questions are wonderful. Your support is fantastic. The upbeat, positive optimism you have is just wonderful. It's amazing. I can tell you must be high in oxytocin. Okay, so the importance. Well, our lives are important, right? We make mistakes, that's fine, but sometimes we make mistakes that could cost our lives. Sometimes we make mistakes, and that could be time. We can make a mistake at 25 and get married to an abuser and not leave them ever till we die. So what's the importance of working on ourselves after processing abuse? So the relationship is better and we process the abuse, right? We start to feel better, and that's where people stop. People think I just need to identify narcissist. I need to feel better about my pain and everything's good. Feel better and then have check mark so I don't get another narcissist. Why did you date a narcissist? That's important. That's the question. Why? Why? There's a common theme with every client I've ever had, and myself. And that's, at the very least, childhood neglect. I drill this. And what that means is you weren't taught what you needed to learn. So, let me explain this. Say we need tools to be successful in life, and not just our job, but our relationships and things like this. And we need this, and we need this, and I need this, and I need these, and I need this. Okay, these are the tools that human beings need for success in all parts of your life. These are the things that our parents give us to succeed in life on our own. We are not born with these. We don't know. We don't have any of these when we're born. And slowly, throughout our childhood, there's 5, there's 7, here's 10, here's 15, 18 years old, ready to go off to college. Boom, bye, see ya. And you've got all these tools, and now you're going to be successful. Why am I not successful then, David? Did my parents gave me all the tools? Well, couldn't have. Must not have. Because what happens is we take a tool away, right? We take this away. We don't have this. This is what my parents taught me. Okay, that works until I'm 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Sometime I'm going to realize that I can't do what I need to do. I can't get done what I need to do because I don't have all the tools. My parents didn't give me this one. Why? Because my mom's void of this as well. She wasn't taught this too. She doesn't have this tool, so she didn't give it to me. And I didn't give it to my children. But my child, I figure this out now. My child's raised, and I gave myself this tool. I worked on myself more, and I finally gave myself this tool. I gave it to my child. I taught them. I broke the cycle, and now I have all the tools for success. Okay? We don't have a tool, and we fail. And we try again, and we fail. We try again, and we fail. We need the tool. We need it. We need this to do that. Humans aren't born with this. We need to acquire this. If we think we have all the tools, but we keep failing at the same thing, relationships, We must not have the tool. We go get it now. We get it now. We learn now. We go get that tool, and that's because we're worth it. We deserve that tool. We deserve to be happy. We deserve success. And I must feel worthy enough to go get that help that I need. To call up, David, help me. I'm ready. That's what we need. We need the tools. Okay? And that's why it's important, so we don't do it again. I'm not saying that it's your fault you were abused. But we opened the door too fast, most likely. And we didn't kick them out soon enough. Why? We've got to know so we don't do it again. If you make it all about them, you won't learn about yourself. If you don't learn about yourself, you can't change anything. That's saying, I don't want awareness, guys. I want to focus on other people, not me. That's what my abuser does. My smear focuses on me and not herself, as sick as she is. Thinks that I'm her problem. I don't even know this person, don't speak with them, don't communicate for years. But they're going to keep saying somebody else is my problem. Just like borderlines and narcissists and sociopaths and psychopaths and histrionic, they say, somebody else is my problem. Somebody else is my problem. Somebody else is my problem. And if we're doing that right now, you aren't going to fix yourself. If you think that somebody else is your problem, you can't fix somebody else. So you're going to have the same problem. You're not fixing it, okay? We need more. And why ever stop? I haven't. I haven't stopped. I'm not done. I'm done when I die. Why? I'm worth it. Okay? Thank you. Next question. Clint, Ohio. Hello, Clint. So Clint has minimized contact with mother because she's a narcissist. And you recently went no contact with your mother, and it feels great. Good. I love this. This is why I'm reading it, because you went no contact with your mother and it feels great. Being abused by your mother feels horrible. You can't change her. The only person you have any control over is you. Then she sends a mass email to everyone saying, oh, I got hacked, and here's my new email, and she sent it to you too. The only time she contacted you was for that. Why? You want to know why? Because she's this small. She hates herself like narcissists. She has low self-esteem, low self-worth. She can't apologize. She can't ask for what she wants because she can't be vulnerable. Okay? She cannot be vulnerable. If she wants her son in her life, a real mother, a healthy mother at least, semi-healthy even, calls up her son and says, Clint, I'm sorry for what I've done. I need you in my life. I love you. Why won't your mother do that? She's too scared you will hurt her. She's that small. So let's not acknowledge anything I've done. Let's not make it any better because she wants things to be exactly the way they were. Let's go back to the way they were, Clint. Where I can just call you up and treat you like shit anytime I want, make myself feel better. I can make you jump through hoops. I can show you how high they are. You don't question them. You don't tell me how you feel. You don't need anything from me. You just do what I want. That's what she wants. And she wants to go right back to that. And she doesn't want to acknowledge anything she's done because she doesn't want to change it. And she doesn't want to even reach out. I'll just send this and then I'll just send a brief message to everyone, not to just you. And then you reply and say, Mom, did you meant to send that to me? She goes, oh, I didn't know. Sorry, Clint. How are you? And you guys start talking, and then she starts abusing you again, and everything's better, and she never apologized, and nothing's ever changed. You guys are the only ones miserable in the relationship. The narcissist is happy with the way things are. So they think. All right. Aaron made a comment. 34,000 emotions. That's crazy. Google said there's like 7, 10. I don't care what Google says. Okay. That would be crazy if we were limited down to like this many emotions or this many. And I know that's a general statement out there, but really what that is basic emotions are for all mammals, not humans. I'd like to think I'm a little bit more evolved than that, than what a porcupine feels or a squirrel, their emotions. They're pretty much about survival and that's it, right? I think we're a little bit further advanced than that. Robert Plutchik, if you're interested, talked about 34,000 emotions. Says it's impossible to distinguish all. That would be, I could imagine. You know, here's one, here's another one, here's another one, up to 34,000. That's going to be hard. But he has good reason for thinking this. And I'm way more supportive of this than 7 or 10. Like an antelope has. Right? A coyote. We're worried about coyote's emotions. He's a little depressed, a little anxious. He loves. I'm sure. Might be. And that's not what's important. Food. I hope that helps, Aaron. Thank you. Bridget from the Midwest. Hello. I let my ex hoover me. I used financial ties as an excuse. I wish there was a way to erase the hurt. Is there a support group? You know how you erase the hurt, Bridget? Talk to somebody. Hire me. I erase the hurt. Well, you don't erase it. Well, you can erase the hurt, not the experience. It happened. It's a thing, right? We just need to feel better about it. Feel better about who we are, about ourselves, Bridget. And I have a ton of ways to do that. And therapists should too. Should. Not saying they all know how, but therapists should. Psychiatrists have drugs, but we all know drugs don't work. So, is there a way to erase the hurt? We process it. You're not processing it, Bridget. You're saying, my body hurts. Damn, that sucks. There's more. You haven't been taught. You didn't get all those tools. If you like, hire somebody to give you the tool. Look, read a book about processing emotion. But you need people. We need people, Bridget. We need people. People did this. People will help you. Okay? That's how important people are. We can't just isolate and learn all of this on our own. We need people. We have to have people active in our lives with helping us with this. Okay? Is there a support group? Anybody knows any kind of support group? Please list it. I know that there's some support groups. Look on Facebook, Bridget, but be careful where you go. Be careful where you go. There's a lot of sick people in some of these support groups. I would be more concerned about with the person, the owner, and how they regulate it. That's what I'd be concerned about. But there's plenty of support groups out there. Anybody has any, please recommend them. But you can also find them out there. Look on Facebook. That's just one place to look, okay? Dan from LA asks, hello, Dan. Great work, David. Thank you. What effect does a female narcissist have on her children? Is it possible to pass it on? In those terms, no. They're not contagious, okay? There's elements of personality disorders that can be passed on genetically. Elements. I'm not saying the disorder. I'm not saying if your mom's a narcissist, then you are too. Or that's the reason my sister is and I'm not. Well, it's not just genetically. It's the way your sister grew up with a mom. Inappropriate parenting and stuff. Is it possible to pass it on? Not in those terms. Is it possible for your child to be a narcissist? Sure. If you look at what causes narcissism, inappropriate parenting, punishing, when they shouldn't be punished, rewarding, they didn't do anything good, these kinds of things. I can go on and on and on. But is it possible for your child to be a narcissist? Sure. Dan, and then somebody asked me what are some things that I can do earlier, and here's some other things you can do. So we be very, very involved, and please go back to, Dan, please go back to the person's question that I answered about this similar problem you're having. Trying to find it. I know I'm not going to find it now. Anyways, watch part 1 and all of part 2, please, so that you can get to the part where I talk about this as well. Someone answered a similar question. And you do your part. That's all you got to worry about. Don't be concerned with her role and her failing as a mother. Like you need to overcompensate. No, you don't. No, you don't. Learn what a father's role is. Be involved and direction. Mother's role keeps the child safe. Try to keep your child safe and secure. Okay? I talk about a lot of things on this channel. I talk about emotional needs. Make sure that your child understands what they are and how to meet them herself. Start learning what that is. Get her involved in counseling, therapy, people in her life that are good, healthy, love her. Okay? There's more you can do, Dan. I'm glad that you care. That's great. And I understand your fears. They're legit. But I wouldn't be so concerned about your children turning out to be narcissists. Let's teach them how to be happy. Ask them how they feel all the time. Okay? Good luck. Counseling, counseling, counseling. Kalo, don't know where you're from, asks, how would a normal person try to get an ex back after massive verbal abuse? Well, you know, if I abuse someone and I want to get them back in my life, we start with an apology, right? Hold ourselves accountable, and then we hold ourselves responsible by saying what I'm going to do now, right? I mean, this is, you know, once there's abuse, the relationship's over. I'm telling you guys, it's over. So what would a normal, normal people don't abuse. And let's say they did on accident, got really angry and verbally abused the partner, okay? So we let them know how wrong it was. And we listen to them and how it made them feel. We stand there and we care. We listen. And we let them know why it will never happen again. I was drunk, I quit drinking. That's how much you mean to me. I'm so sorry. I hurt you. Yes, I was drinking. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I'm going to stop drinking so it never happens again because I love you. You see? We hurt somebody, we make them feel better. So somebody can apologize as much as they want, or they don't even have to apologize. They can, you know, rent a fire engine. They can give you $1,000. They can do cartwheels down the street. All that matters is how you feel, and you got to feel better, and you got to be reassured it doesn't happen again, that it won't happen again. That's how we handle things like that. Hope that helps. Thank you. If not, just ask me again. Last question is from Marty Gracia, Michigan. Hello. Marty, you've said a few times that I've missed your questions, so I don't know why that's happening. I noticed one time YouTube kept your question for me to approve. YouTube does that. I don't know how to stop that. Sometimes it'll hold people's questions in private till I approve it. That might be the problem. I don't know. Sometimes people can actually erase your question. I wouldn't doubt it if the person stalking me, cyber stalking me and attacking me I'm pretty sure they are going down every single question and deleting it, and hoping that some sticks so I miss your question. Crazy. So that could be happening. But you finally got a question. I got it. I'm going to answer it. Marty Gracia asks, while at a friend's house, I shorten this. While at a friend's house, her son took his parakeet out of the cage, put it on the floor and stepped on it and killed it and smiled and walked away. and you went on to say that, I think you said the mother, but I think the grandmother said, I don't want to hear you guys talking about it, something like that. And then you asked me, what do you think we just witnessed? Well, I don't know, because I think you're asking me to be like a doctor and diagnose him and what's his problem. Because you guys talked about psychopathy and things like this. So I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not going to try and diagnose this little kid. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I couldn't diagnose people anyways. I'm allowed to give my opinion because I'm not a doctor. But it won't do any good. He's a child. So whatever his problem is, he needs help, right? You know, it could be something wrong with his brain. He could be traumatized, ignored. I don't know. It could be genetic. It could be genetic. He could have psychopathy in his family, and he's becoming one, or he is one. But we don't diagnose children because these things can stop. I've studied a ton about this, and a lot of children's behaviors like this can be fixed and stopped, and they continue to develop into healthy adults. Yes. So we don't diagnose children. You can't diagnose the psychopath until they're an adult. But a requirement for psychopathy in sociopathy, a requirement for antisocial personality disorder is there is evidence of child conduct disorder. And this is child conduct disorder. This fits the term, okay? I'm not diagnosing him again. It could be, he could be epileptic. He could be, autistic. He could be, I don't know, right? He could have a brain tumor. Could have a tumor in his head. I don't know. But just letting you know, if it's none of those things fit, child conduct disorder is like this. This is kind of bad behavior. This pre-psychopathy cursor, right? So for a psychopath to be diagnosed a psychopath must have this type of child conduct disorder before age 15. Okay? So, doesn't look good. Child needs a lot of help, huh? Yuck. That's it, guys. That's all. Thank you very, very much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for asking. Thanks for supporting. If you can, keep doing more, please, helping me. Just vote, share, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're worried about your ex seeing it, that's a good way to do that to them. Come on. Start a different account and do it. Change your name, okay? I put a lot of work into these, and I just want to help people out there that don't have any answers. Right? Imagine if you didn't have any answers before you knew what was going on. It was hell, wasn't it? And I went through that for years. I don't want people to go through that. And they kill themselves like Shane. Okay? So please, support this. Do a little bit extra. You put so much time and hours into watching the videos. If you think that the information in any of these videos or anybody else's videos helps you and can help somebody else, try and support them, okay? Thank you, guys. Always love yourself first. I'll see you next week.